Welcome to Doc Podcast. My name is Abbas Shafi, gastroenterologist.
And I'm Rob Hoyer, medical oncologist.
This is a podcast about lifestyle medicine, disease prevention, and longevity.
This podcast is provided for informational purposes only. It is not medical advice. Please consult your physician for individualized therapies. Please also check out our website at doc2doc.health. That's doc2doc.health. There you can leave us messages, make suggestions for future episodes, and ask us questions. And now, on to the show. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Doc to Doc, episode 17. This is Intermittent Fasting Part 2. We're so excited to share some additional information about intermittent fasting with you. I'm Rob Hoyer, medical oncologist, and joined by my good friend and colleague, Abbas Shafi, gastroenterologist. Our goal is to enable you to be CEO of your health, utilizing the principles of lifestyle medicine. So we'll go ahead and let Abbas kick this off we'll talk about some of the different types of fasting, and then we'll dive into a review of a fasting mimicking diet that I did a couple of weeks ago.
Hi, everybody. You joined us. This is the second episode, as Rob mentioned. We just want to go briefly over how to start fasting. So to summarize, last time we went through the detail of different type of fasting, which one is time-limited diet, and was intermittent fasting, then was that fasting mimicking diet. So in general, to start a diet and fasting, it is an individual and personal endeavor. So to start a diet should be personalized. Number one, I think we should start slow, and each individual is different from the other one. So if you want to do time-limited diet, maybe start with 10 to 12 and progressively increase it. The other one, do not fast more than 3 days. As you're going through the diet, you need to look at your medication list. If your history of diabetes, make sure to check your sugar frequently, as well as if you have high blood pressure, check your blood pressure. Other very important point is, if you do not feeling good during the diet, you should break it. So this is a long time endeavor, so you need to go slowly on the diet. Some of the pitfall of diet, of course, is hunger, but usually hunger is for the first 2-3 days. Then you get adjusted as the time goes on. So you need to be the diet have to be just in case you're very interested, look at for long-term goal. Other type of is make sure that drink plenty of water. One of the common thing, people that do not drink water and feel fatigued and tired. Also, you need to look at your lifestyle as well as work to see what days does it work. Whether if you go like 5-2 diet, which is 5 days of regular diet and 2 days of fasting, you should look at the days that is you're less stress and more control to do those 2 days of diet. So there's many other things that we'll go through it. But Rob has done recently a diet, so we'd like to get his experience, and then we'll get back to this as well. So this is an individual endeavor, so do not look at other people's diet. It just is good to find somebody has done it, some experience, but each person has to take this individually and hopefully with good success.
So, Abbas, I have a question for you. What about folks who are on blood pressure medicines or diabetes medicines? Do you have any advice? Or, of course, they should, people should talk to their doctor about this before they start any kind of fasting program. But what do you think about that, about taking diabetes meds and trying to fast at the same time, or hypertension, blood pressure meds?
Yeah, the thing is, you're trying to live a better life, so you do not want it to cause more harm to your body than that. I think number one, definitely they need to talk to their physician or primary care provider. Secondly, even with their advice, if you're diabetic, check your sugar frequently during the fasting state to see how your sugar goes, and if you're not feeling well, break the fast. So you don't want to get to a hypoglycemic effect and pass out and cause that. And the same thing with blood pressure. So if you're taking several blood pressure medication, you need to monitor throughout the day. and with the help of your cardiologist or primary care, adjust that, so ease into it. So don't go suddenly from what's that, the routine day to fasting, and particularly if you exercise a part of your regime, then you need even more carefully with these things, so you don't have an hypoglycemic or hyper-intensive episode and you pass out. So I think it's individually. So should be those two group of individuals should be very careful to start the diet. But once they understand what's going on after maybe a few cycles, then I think they are can easily manage that.
Something I encountered in my research for this episode was that certainly, we're made to fast every night when we sleep. We are fasting. And so, perhaps as a start, consider do a 12-hour fast, finish up dinner by 6 or 7 p.m. and then have breakfast at 7, 8 a.m. That's a 12-hour fast right there. And so that's a very good, easy way to start this. And then you can certainly work on from there, try an 18-hour fast if you want to, and go from there. I think it's important to customize this. This is not a one-size-fits-all type of thing, and something you have to do. It's really important to listen to your body and make sure if you feel or if you're experiencing any of those warning signs that Abbas just described, feeling faint, feeling really poorly, having a hypoglycemia, for example, that's low blood sugar, stop. It's not worth risking your life or getting sick trying to do something to improve your health.
And I think you follow the circadian rhythm, as a GI physiology, as all the disease that we see today, whether metabolic syndrome, diabetes, is really following the basic diet and not eating late at night. Because when you get heartburn, indigestion, these are all signs of you're eating too much, too late. So I think that's really a good start. And other those people that they have diabetes or hypertension or other medical problem, they should let their loved one, the family know, as well as the coworker. So be aware of the swing in their mood and their behavior. So if there's somebody notice something, so make them be aware of that. To especially people they eat copious some of the carbohydrates, they may just quickly the sugar goes down and may feel different. So those are just some simple things that to start and get a successful diet.
Okay, so you want to move on to the fasting mimicking?
Sounds good. Tell us about your experience. How was it?
It was better than I expected. I must admit, I was dreading it a little bit when I first opened the box, and I wasn't sure if I was going to even order it. It's about the cost. This is the ProLon, and we'll have a link. We're not endorsing or we're not paid to review them or anything, but this is the ProLon Intermittent Fasting Mimicking Diet. So it's a 5-day program. I bought it. I think I paid about $170 after tax and shipping for it. So it's a 5-day course, and I have a menu that I'll pull up in a second to show everyone what that looks like. And maybe what we'll do is we'll just go ahead and look at that, and I can talk about the program. So, okay, so this is the ProLon meal plan, and so this is right from the package. I just took a picture of it. So 5 days, and it corresponds to a breakfast, lunch, snack, afternoon snack, and then a dinner. And it's kind of interesting. It's got a basis of for the first day is about 1,150 calories, and then day 2, 3, 4, and 5 is about 800 calories. And so the idea of this is that it generates ketosis through the idea is, though, that you're still eating something. So you're eating foods that are allowing that ketosis to happen, alleviating hunger in the process, but you're not so-called breaking the fast. That's the idea. And there's been a variety of different studies on this. It's shown to be safe. There's a whole bunch of research being done about with fasting mimicking diets for obesity, diabetes, cancer. And The problem with some of the fasting, particularly the multi-day fasting, is just too hard for individuals who have medical conditions to do a full, say, a 3 or 4 day fast. It's very difficult just to drink, water, for example, or tea for 4 days straight. It's very hard. So the idea of this is that it tries to mitigate some of the downsides of fasting while still achieving the benefits. I'll just go through here. For example, the first day it's like this L bar, this nut-based bar. It's kind of like a granola bar, I guess is the best way to describe it. It's nuts, a lot of tea in the diet. I happen to drink tea anyway, so actually that worked out pretty well. They've got a couple supplements. They've got this oil that they give. They've got some vitamin supplements that they give as well on them, and those are designed to just try to make sure you're getting all the proper vitamins during the fast. The fast is mainly consists of these soups, and they actually were pretty good. They were pretty good. They're a little salty for my taste, but they very easy. I did it when I was at one of our outreach clinics. I was there for 5 days, and so I just basically got a microwave and I had a kitchen where I was staying, so I could just basically heat this up. It takes about 10 minutes. It's very simple. You just put the soup packet into the water, heat it up, and it actually tasted pretty good. You're not eating very much, but you're eating it's a fairly substantial volume of liquid. You can vary the liquid amount. So actually, that was good. That did alleviate some of the hunger. The first day is actually kind of easy because you're eating. I was actually surprised. There's all this food on the first day. Crackers, is kale-based crackers. They give some olives, and then there's another nut bar in the afternoon. So that actually kind of helped. If I'm used to eating like some nuts or something in the afternoon when I'm in clinic, and so that was actually kind of a nice feature of the diet. So the first day is kind of easy. Dinner, again, another soup, and then they give it's like a granola bar, but it has a little bit of chocolate in there. So you're getting like that, I guess, that dessert feeling. It's slightly sweet. So you're getting a little bit of a sweeter, I think it's a fruit-based flavor, sweetener they use for this. As you get into day 2, the interesting thing, this L drink, it's basically a glycerol drink, and it has about, it's weight-based. So I calculated about 150 calories for my weight, and it's a liquid. It's slightly sweet. The idea is that this drink can help alleviate any loss of muscle mass. So when you're losing weight with this, you're not losing muscle mass. That's the idea, that they use this glycerol-based liquid. You basically dilute it into a water bottle or sports bottle, fill it up with about 32 ounces of water, and sip on that throughout the day. You can also put some tea bags in there too. And they don't want you drinking caffeine, but it's like hibiscus tea, spearmint tea, which actually tasted pretty good. I was drinking those and drinking a lot of tea during this time. Day 2, kind of getting into this is the 800 calorie day. So you're getting into the L bar for breakfast, soup packet, some olives, and for lunch, and then a snack with some olives and a soup at dinner. Day 3 by far is the hardest. As you can see here, there's no snack in the afternoon, and there's none of that chocolate crisp bar is gone. So day 3 is definitely the hardest, and that's when you're getting into when I think I was getting into ketosis probably sometime between day 2 and day 3. I didn't really feel bad at all, but I did feel a little hungry during the night. On the night of day 3, I did feel a little bit hungry. Not horrible. I didn't feel uncomfortable or anything like that. But I definitely felt a little bit different, and I feel like that was different than my usual eating schedule. And so you can see day 4 and day 5 basically the same, where you have a little bit of, they introduce a little bit of snack on day 4, and then day 5 is basically the same as day 3. So overall, it was relatively easy. Everything is prepackaged. Each day comes in a little box, and just take it out and eat it. And so it was really just follow the instructions and go through it. I'm just going to pause here, and then we can talk about some of my other comments about it.
How much weight did you lose through the protocol?
So yes, about, I think you said about how much did I weight did I
Weight
lose?
loss.
Yeah. And so this has been, so for me, it was I lost about 5 pounds. I was about 161 and it went down to about 156 after and I've actually been able to maintain that since it's been about 10 days since I finished this. And I've been able to maintain that weight loss so far. So time will tell. I lost about an inch off my belly as well. So in particular, one of the things that I thought was interesting with this is I was actually able to lose some of that belly fat. And I've tried to diet before, do, workout, sit-ups, all sorts of, I have not ever been able to lose any of this belly fat. And I don't feel like I have that much, but I have some. I can pinch, a good inch of my abdominal fat. I was actually able to lose a little bit of that. And there are a couple of studies looking at doing this diet monthly for about 6 months and have shown sustained weight. I think it was about 8 pounds of weight loss with this diet when applied for 5 days per month. I believe it was for 6 months that participants did it. So there is some evidence that this can be helpful for weight loss.
How about your society? I mean, some of the people that go through the diet, they feel like even after they do what's a time limited or intermittent or mimicking, they feel like the feeling of the fullness, it remains. So they get full much quicker even after the thing. How do you feel through that? So that's not a benefit that maybe whether physiologically the stomach shrinks or whether some of the peptide that causes hunger, they get more sensitive. So how do you feel after that? Do you still went back to eating regular diet, or you feel like you're getting full much easier?
So what's recommended is for day 6 is to go back on a very light diet, stay on liquids for the first 12 hours. And I can actually, now I know why they recommend that is after doing this, it's actually very hard to eat what I would consider a full meal before I did the fast. On day 6, I actually didn't feel very hungry. I was able to eat, I ate some soup, had a little bit of yogurt for breakfast. And I felt like full after eating that, like maybe a half a cup of yogurt, which is kind of unusual because usually I'll eat more than that. So yes, since then, I'm also more sensitive to portions. It's kind of interesting. Maybe it may just be pure coincidence, but I feel like I'm now a little more tuned to how much I've been eating. And now that I recognize that I can survive on 800 calories a day and actually do okay, I'm not eating as much. So maybe that is one, maybe that's a little bit of that might be a little psychological maybe, but I think I am getting full a little bit sooner as well.
Many studies show that many people like this, they felt the same thing when they go through this, whether 5 days diet, other things, they feel like anxiety or feeling fullness will remain for at least for a while. Another thing, this is probably great for people with diabetes or hypertension. They cannot go completely that's low caloric intake. So at least they will have some starting point to some base nutrition to then they can adjust as go on. So I'm not too much give processed food and prepared food, but I think that's at least one way to start and see how that goes.
Yeah, that was one of my concerns was, is it good to eat all this processed food? And I feel very, very blessed that my wife and my mother-in-law are very into cooking. And so I eat a lot of fresh food. And so this is was very different than what I was used to eating. But I think the principle is sound, and what they're trying to do with this is basically get you into ketosis without having to go through the full experience of actually going through ketosis in a fasting way. Sure, you can go through ketosis by eating ultra low carb diet, but my sense is that that's probably different than calorie restricting to get into ketosis. I think it's a different pathways are likely activated in that setting of getting ketosis through fasting. And so I thought it was kind of interesting. And I think I'll probably try it again. I'm going to follow my A1C, which right now is running at 6.1. I'm not very proud of that, but that's the value. And so I'm working to get that down here. So we're going to, I'm going to take out flour from I already have taken out flour, rice, pasta, pizza. All the foods that I love are going to have to be, I'd have to go for a while here.
So Rob, during that time of that you did this diet, what was your hydration state? How much you drink, and how much your exercise tolerance, or did you go for a walk, or did you? I know you're working. How do you feel about that?
So for the hydration, that's one of the keys for fasting is hydration. So what I did was I drank that 32 ounce that glycerol based drink that they gave me. It's weight based, so you basically dilute it with water. Threw a few tea bags in that, and so I was drinking 32 ounces. I probably finished that by 1 or 2 in the afternoon. Basically refill my bottle and work on that for the rest of the day. So I was getting at least 64 ounces of water a day, plus all the soup
tea.
and the tea. Yeah. So
right.
so it's a lot of liquids. I was probably drinking 80 or 90 ounces of liquid, I suspect, if not slightly more than that. As far as exercise, I was doing pretty what I would consider light to moderate. So I have when I'm traveling for my clinic, I do it's like a virtual reality. It's called Supernatural. It's like a boxing thing. It's you can have different settings. So I was doing a moderate workout. It's like 15 minutes. So it was and you're just air boxing. So you're not like hitting anything. So it's really not very strenuous. And so I would consider it mild to moderate. I did that 15 minutes a day just to get some movement, but I wasn't doing any weight training or anything like that, which I normally will do some weight strength training, a little bit of weights. And I did not do that during the 5 days of the fast. In fact, there's a warning on the package insert for this. It says, avoid strenuous exercise, avoid hot tubs. I did go in my hot tub on day 5 and did fine, by the way. So I felt like I could do that, but I think they're just kind of giving some precautions just in case someone feels lightheaded or has any side effects from the fast.
How about when you were in like day 3 and 4 plus, when you went to that ketogenic state, did you feel any mood or any taste or breath, anything that calmly with those prolonged fastings? How did you feel through that?
Yeah, it was kind of interesting. So day 3, I think, was definitely the hardest for me, and I felt a little bit hungry. I just didn't feel great. I didn't feel bad, but I didn't feel super energetic. I felt a little sluggish, and I felt a little tired actually on day 3. I did wake up at night, I think maybe once or twice, a little bit hungry, and I was tempted to get a snack, but I was like, no, I'm gonna stick with this. I just had some water, went back to sleep. On day 4, something happens, and I don't know exactly what that is, but on day 4, it's probably the body acclimating to the ketosis, is my thought. I actually felt better. The hunger went away. I felt more energetic. Actually, I felt pretty good went through day 5. In fact, that feeling on day 4 and 5 is actually kind of, I'm actually considering doing this again in the near future, because it actually felt good. It's very interesting, and I don't. It's probably the ketosis is what's going on there, and the body just is activating certain pathways that haven't been activated for a long time, and so I felt good through day 6. On day 7, I started introducing some of my regular dietary foods. But again, the portions have been, since then, it's been like 10 days since I did this, the portions have been smaller. So I thought that was kind of interesting. And I felt good since then. So I really could not, other than just mild hunger, a little bit of sluggishness on day 2, maybe day 2 and 3, I really had no, significant side effects from this.
That's great. So overall, our recommendation for anybody to start, just make sure that, again, if you're diabetic, if you're hypertension, talk to your doctor, and then start slowly, and then make sure you're well hydrated, adjust your medication, and there's many different modalities how to start that. So if you're doing time limited, then start with maybe 10, 12 hours, then go to 16 or 18 hours as you can. Definitely do not go more than 3 days. So like there's no really significant changes between 18 hours and 3 days. And then just be smart. If you don't feel good, break the fast. There's nothing shameful about that. And exercise to your tolerance and to see how you do. So Rob, anything else you want to add to it?
Well, I would just add that the other part was that with the fasting mimicking diet, it's if you figure 5 days, it's about $30 to $40 a day. So it's expensive. I mean, certainly it's more than one person would need if you went to the grocery store and prepare meals. Certainly that's a lot of that's quite a bit of food for those days in terms of the monetary equivalence. However, when you look at the potential for me, I was trying to restore insulin sensitivity. I'm excited to see what this does, but I must say I'm also doing it in concert with eliminating sugar, white flour, pasta. These kind of foods are gonna rice for a while are just going to be very, very low or absent in my diet, and we'll see. So it's going to be hard to glean exactly what the fast mimicking diet does in terms of my experience, and recognize that your experiences may be different than mine. But I thought this was kind of interesting and something that certainly a tool that can be used for fasting. I think it's a great way to start. If someone wants to try fasting, it's a relatively easy and safe way to start fasting.
Exactly. And as we mentioned before, the three biggest enemy of today's modern life is the sugar, salt, and flour. So you cannot live without them, but at the same time, you have to limit them for preventive many of the diseases that we see today.
Well, we will catch everyone in the next episode. We're going to have a cardiologist on who's going to talk about his practice with cardiology. So we'll have him. We should be interviewing him in about a week. So we'll get that up on YouTube and Apple Podcasts. If you have any comments, please feel free to drop us a review, ask us questions. We'll have our emails in the show notes. And thanks for listening.
Thank you.